Holy shit! Guys, welcome to my Eternals review. Wow, this movie was something else. A very different Marvel movie, and like I've said in all of my Eternals reactions, Eternals, Celestials, all the lore and whatever you want to call it around these characters in this pocket of the MCU or Marvel Universe in general is something I've never been super knowledgeable about. So it's been... well, it was really fun going into this movie, not knowing too much about what to expect, not, going into a movie like Civil War, Infinity War, or, much more popular comic book stories that more people are probably more inclined to know or have read, such as maybe Flashpoint, The Killing Joke, just, more popular comic books. There's a lot to theorize about, and something like this was something new to me, and that made me even more excited. There were obviously some things I wanted to happen, some things I wanted to see, which we'll talk about in a second, which didn't happen, and some did, and some just completely blew my mind, and I did not expect it at all, at least not in this movie. So we'll get there in a minute, but I'm gonna just, separate my reviews, try to make them a little bit more organized. So I'm gonna try and talk spoiler free right now and just give my first impressions. I just saw the movie, just got back, went straight from work to the theater. It was great. I saw it with my boy Joseph from work. Thanks for coming to see it with me. If you're watching this, a lot of fun seeing it with you, and hopefully we, me and everyone else can go see No Way Home together. But spoiler free review. This movie, solid 10 out of 10 for me. And yes, I know a lot of you are like, there's no way it's a solid 10 out of 10 movie, but I was going into this point, like, there's no way this movie is worse than Thor the Dark World. I mean, Thor the Dark World wasn't my favorite MCU movie. It's not a bad movie, but I knew for a fact there was no way this was going to be worse than Thor the Dark World, and it was not. This movie was exactly what I wanted it to be and more, and that's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I wasn't disappointed with this movie. It exceeded my expectations, and I was happy with everything that I got out of it, so it's a 10 out of 10 for me. There was a lot of points in the movie I'm like, why don't they just do this, or why can't there just be a plot twist? Things are moving slowly, and then things would happen like, oh, okay, I like that, because I am a fan of slow burn when there's a good payoff, and this movie was a slow burn for the first act, but it had a lot of great payoffs in the end, so it made that wait and that slow, because you had a lot of new characters in this movie you had to develop. You wanted to make each character interesting. You wanted to care about each one of these characters, and the movie takes its time developing these characters and making you care about each one of these individual Eternals, and I'm really glad it did, because at the end of the movie I cared about every single one of them, and they all had their own personality, their own traits, their own motivations, outside of just being a badass Eternal. Some standout characters to me were definitely Sprite and Icarus. Icarus to me is like an MCU version of Superman, and they did make that joke a few times. And although, he had... I'm trying to be very spoiler free right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to say anything else, because what I want to say dives into a little bit of spoiler territory. But what they did with Icarus and his motivations and his personality and the way he interacts with the other characters, I thought was something very interesting, and I didn't expect, and I thought it was a really cool character overall. But Sprite was a character that I was like, man, I really feel for this character. This character made some decisions in the movie. I'm like, I can kind of understand why you'd feel like that. I want you to be happy, and I want you to live the life you want to live, because this character, out of all the other Eternals, is very different because they're young, or at least they appear young, so they can't do and can't have a lot of the things that the other people can have, like love and be able to go to a bar or see a rated R movie. I think we've all been a kid. We've all had that kid mindset, is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, we've all been kids, but we've all probably felt what this character has felt at some point in our life. So I really related to that. I'm like, I can kind of understand why they would feel this way, or why they might have made this decision. Again, trying to stay out of spoilers, so I'm trying to be very vague in what I'm trying to say. The way they handled the Celestials, holy crap! There is a sequence at the end of the movie that just made me go, holy shit, like yes, I just want to see more of this aspect of Marvel, so much more. So plot overall, I heard a lot of people complaining about the plot, and it was very lackluster. I thought the exact opposite. I thought it was really boring. I was like, there needs to be something else going on here, and there was a lot more of that something else I wanted. I was like, okay, I like this, keep going. And it did. And there was things that were happening. I was like, oh my god, like the scale of this movie is incredible. Like you don't think the scale of the movie is incredible. Again, leave it at that. I'm just gonna stay out of spoilers. Please go see and support this movie. I thought it was great. I saw a lot of people complaining about representation in this movie. And if you didn't know already, there is a deaf character and there is a gay character in this movie. And I thought what they did with them was fine. I thought, you know, they didn't, shove it in our faces. They were just deaf and gay. And I thought that was great. You know, cool. I don't know why that's something to complain about. If you're complaining that a character is gay or deaf, or you just feel they're doing that to cater to people, well, deaf people exist and gay people exist. So if they happen to be a superhero, like, are gay people and deaf superheroes just not allowed? Or is that, starting to include these type of diverse characters is just shoving it in our faces? I mean, I kind of am getting, Connor Kent vibes right now with the whole Superman, or sorry, is it Jonathan Kent? Jonathan or Connor, one of the two. Connor is Superboy, so it's Jonathan Kent, with him coming out as bi and everyone complaining about that. I'm like, are LGBTQ and deaf and blind and anyone who's maybe not straight and white, have normal hearing and whatnot, are they not also allowed to be superheroes or be in big budget films? Or I don't know if I'm the only one who sees that way, but I thought what they did with these characters were fine. I never at one point went, they're gay. Wow, what an interesting character move. Or wow, they're deaf. What an interesting character. That's just who they are. I mean, if you're sitting there focusing on that 24/7, why? They're people. And yeah, they may be deaf. Like, okay, they're deaf. Okay, they're gay. Who cares? They're just themselves. Why do we have to make a big deal about it? This should be normal. It is 2021. This should be normal. Deaf people exist. Gay people exist. Get over it. I don't know why this is a problem. I don't. That was something that kind of annoyed me in the movie. I didn't even think about it until the end of the movie. I'm like, this bothered people? Like, why? And the deaf character, I forgot her name, but she was one of the coolest Eternals. Like, she was like the Flash, and I love the Flash, if you don't know already. So that was so cool to see. So that was a minor gripe I had with the film, but not really the film, but the people complaining about the film. So sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there, and I hope you guys agree with what I'm trying to say. It didn't take me out of the movie, but it definitely gives me a different perspective on it. And it's not the movie's fault at all, like, not at all. Just the way people are approaching this and complaining about things. I've seen a few people complain about it on Twitter and Instagram, but it's just mildly infuriating, especially if you're deaf or a person of color or an LGBTQ plus member. Like, I can understand, maybe not understand, but I can definitely see where your frustration comes from. And I'm glad, we're starting to be a little bit more open in these movies, and other people that may be deaf or gay have other heroes to look up to. But yeah, that's something else I wanted to address. Moving on, the post-credit scenes here, phenomenal. That's all I'm gonna say. Great, love them. Yes. I don't know what else I really want to talk about without going into spoilers, because I really want to talk about spoilers. But I will just say I love the movie. The pacing was exactly what I wanted it to be. CGI, I mean, it's a Marvel movie. Do I really have to say the CGI was good? The CGI was great. A lot of people are saying it's like really bad CGI. I think this was one of the best CGI Marvel movies we've seen in a long time, or at least the best special effects we've seen in a Marvel movie yet. I thought the special effects were phenomenal, and it never once took me out of the movie. It put me more in the movies. I'm like, wow, these are Celestials, these are Eternals. Like, this is so cool. I never took me out of the movie. But then again, I just like to enjoy movies, so I'm not sitting there going, oh, the CGI is unfinished. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing and enjoying it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on my non-spoiler thoughts on Eternals. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. Really excited to see more. Plot was great. CGI was great. Acting was great. And what else is there to say without diving into spoilers? But yeah, if you haven't seen Eternals yet and you don't want to be spoiled, stop the video here and you can come back later if you'd like. But I say it's time to dive into some spoilers. Sorry for rambling on there, guys, but wow, let's jump right into the spoilers. Holy crap, Icarus, the whole time he knew about the emergence and what was going on, and he didn't want to tell anybody. And that was one of the reasons why I said in my non-spoiler review why I think Icarus is such a cool character, because no, he did some really messed up things. He did kill one of his family members, and that's not okay. But I think his motivation behind it, like, you said you loved me, yet you made me keep this from the rest of my family, and how much, you know, you don't know how much that ate at my core. And I really liked that. I'm like, dude, I understand your pain there. And by the time, you know, the emergence was stopped and they completely had an abortion against their new Celestial, which they completely aborted a Celestial, so that's where we're at in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He just apologized, he broke down, and then he flew and committed suicide, which was a really cool tie-in to Sprite saying Icarus was the one who flew too close to the sun, because at the end of the movie, he flew directly into the sun. And I thought that was a really cool metaphor. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's what I picked up from it. And I thought that was great foreshadowing. That was a phenomenal job on the directors and writers' part. But Icarus was a great character. I really like what they did with him. That's what I was talking about with plots. Like, I wanted something else to be going on other than, okay, the emergence is happening. Like, what else is there to, like, give me a plot twist? And that's exactly, I was like, oh shit, he killed the other Eternal. Again, sorry if I can't remember their names. There was a lot of new characters in this movie, so it's hard to remember all of them. But the scope of this movie, when, like, I'm sorry if I'm bouncing around a lot. I have a lot of thoughts in my head. But that ending sequence where the judge comes up and the whole sky clears and he just rips Cersei away from Black Knight. I forgot his actual name. Dane. His name Dane. I think it's Dane. And that just made me go, bring me Galactus right now. Holy crap. That gave me chills. That was badass and scary. But he ends up just saying, all right, whatever. Just, I'll come back in a few hundred years if they're worthy, whatever. I'll be fine. I'll be the judge of that. So that was a really cool scene. Really excited to see more of the celestial aspect of Marvel.
A celestial for the people of this planet. I will spare them, but your memories will show if they are worthy to live. And I will return for judgment.
Nice. Come on, Black Knight. Come on. Give me some. And then let's talk about the post-credit scenes. So here's my reaction to the first post-credit scene. Sorry if it's dark. It is a movie theater, so I can't really control the lighting in there, and I'm not about to turn on my flashlight and blind everyone else. So here it is. Let's go. Mid-credit scene. Let's go. Let's go. Give me some Black Knight. It's Mephisto. I'm gonna find fucking Galactus.
Emerson. We have to go back.
What?
Oh, my ears!
Oh shit.
Eyes are numb. No more truck teleporting for you. Behold, the royal prince of Titan, brother of Thanos, the knave of hearts, defeater of Black Robert.
Roger.
Oh,
Black Knight.
defeater of Black Roger. The great adventurer, Star Fox.
Got you. Show.
What a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my fellow Thanos. You know, you really don't have to do the whole thing every time.
Everything you do is impressive.
No, I know it's impressive.
Who are you?
I'm Eros. This is Pip. And you are as beautiful as legends say, Dana.
What do you want, lads?
Pip and I heads out, don't we? Your friends are in big trouble. We know where to find them.
Oh shit, dude. I fucking told you.
So we got Star Fox. Holy crap. That's why I was saying in my mid-credit scene reaction, like, I told you. Because before we had seen the movie, I was theorizing what could be in these post-credit scenes, and I mentioned Star Fox to my coworker Joseph, who I saw this film with. And I was like, oh my god, they're actually doing Star Fox, because when his little imp person came out, I'm not familiar with him, but I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then I started thinking Star Fox. I'm like, nah, there's no way. Which is why I was like, nah. Again, you can really see my face, but I was really, and it was it Harry Styles as Star Fox? So that's cool. I'm not surprised that he showed up when I think about it, because he is an Eternal, and I think what they're going to do with this next film is really interesting, because I wonder where they're going to go with this. That's what has me most intrigued. But let's talk about the post-credit scene now. Here's my reaction to that. It could be a gag. It could be Black Knight. Yeah, it's Black Knight. It's a sword. It's a sword. Oh, it's a sword. Oh, it's a sword. You can do this. You can do this. Yeah. Glow. Glow, come on, glow.
More speed, look.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I have to try. Sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman?
Nick Fury? Was that Nick? Or Blade?
That sounded like Blade. That sounded like Nick.
Was that Mahershala Ali? I couldn't hear that.
That doesn't sound like Nick Fury.
Yeah, no, that's why, but it would make more sense if it was Blade, but okay, hold on. So not only did we get blown away in a big mic drop with the brother of Thanos showing up, we get a Black Knight reveal with his sword in the case, and then right when you think like, oh my god, Black Knight, it's happening, you hear a very, very interesting voice in the background. Now, I couldn't tell if that was Nick Fury or Blade. It was a very brief line where he's like, are you sure you want to go down this right now? Are you sure you're ready for that? I'm not exactly sure. It was something like that. But I couldn't tell if it was Nick Fury or Blade. I figured if it was Nick Fury, they would have just shown him. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's with the Skrulls right now, because this does take place during Far From Home or around Far From Home. So I'm pretty sure he's with the Skrulls right now, taking his little vacation, rightfully so. So I'm pretty sure this is Blade, which would make more sense because Blade and Black Knight have crossed in the comics before. And I'm not sure if Nick even knows about Celestials yet. I'm not sure if he's ready for that, or that's something for Star Fox. Star Fox to me is like the Nick Fury of space, and I'm not sure if Nick even knows about Celestials yet. He knows a lot, but I don't know if he knows that that much yet. I'm sorry, Nick, but I don't know if you're ready for that, unless Captain Marvel gave him some intel that Captain Marvel may have. But wow, did we actually get our very first look at Blade? Holy crap, my boy Mahershala Ali. Bring it. I am so ready for Blade. Give me my favorite vampire hunter. Wow, that was incredible. So post-credit scene, mid-credit scene aside, I want to go back to talking about the movie itself. That was just something I was so excited to just get my reaction out to. That was great. The Celestials were great. I'm so excited to see Galactus down the line. I think that's something that is going to be so cool to see, considering how they handled Celestials here and the scope of them and how terrifying they can be. Galactus makes me even more excited to see. But something about the plot, not really a plot hole, but something I was like, I don't know if it's a really right thing. So the judge, again, I forgot his actual name. He planted a celestial seed into Earth. And he did this, unless he was lying, but he did this that way. Once the planet builds up enough energy, a new celestial is born, hence the term emergence. An emergence from the planet kills everyone on the planet, but a new celestial is born, and from this new celestial creates a new star and creates more life by creating gravity, which sucks. A whole planet and billions of people die, but at the end of the day, it's giving birth to more planets and more life. And if that's the case, and that's how the Marvel universe works, they just stopped a lot of people from being born. And yes, Earth is different, and they see that. But at the same time, the other Eternals goes out to tell other Eternals, like, yo, don't do this, or this is what's going to happen if you do that. And if they stop letting other Celestials be born, life in the universe as you know it ends. So I don't want to sound like a Thanos supporter, or like, a genocidal supporter here, but in a really morbid way, the emergence has to happen in this universe, otherwise life dies and it will not continue. So that's tough. Like, no matter what you pick in this situation, whether you want to stop the emergence or assist it, it's a win-lose. At the end of the day, it is, because you're saving a planet full of a lot of people, but then you're also preventing even more lives from being born and being able to emerge and populate the universe. So it's a tough decision. I don't know if going out and telling other Eternals what's going on is the best idea. I think the best thing to do is make them figure it out for themselves. But I don't know. It's tough because a lot of people die, but then a lot of people aren't able to even be born. So it's a really gray area, and that's what I like about this movie. It makes you think, because they did press the idea of, are we really the good guys here? Wow. Also, there was some Game of Thrones actors in here, and you just knew there was going to be some death, and we saw a lot of Eternals die. We saw 1, 2, 3 Eternals died in this movie, I believe, unless I'm forgetting about one. 3 did. There was the main person, Ajax, I believe was her name. I could be wrong. There was Icarus, and I can't remember the third guy's name. The Asian guy who I love. That guy was freaking awesome. I loved him. Him and Sprite had a really fun scene. And I'm really glad that freaking Icarus was put in his place too. That was a great scene. But wow, I feel like I'm forgetting about so much. There's a lot I wanted to talk about in this movie, and now I can't even remember half of it. I feel like I've touched on all the major stuff, though. But I love this movie so much. Sorry if my review's been really messy. I just wanted to get this out here. My first thoughts. I love this movie. Please go support it. Post-credit scenes were amazing. Action sequences were amazing. Really happy we got Star Fox and Black Knight. And I'm excited to see, just to see the Eternals again, because we did get that message of, Eternals will return, which is very fitting for Marvel. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know what you thought of Eternals down in the comments below, and what you are excited for most going forward in the MCU. We got our next Marvel movie coming out in a few weeks, Spider-Man No Way Home, and if you're not excited for that, what the hell are you excited for? It's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. You tell me you're not excited to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I don't care if you're a Marvel fan, DC fan. Hell, I don't care if you're dead or not born yet. How are you not excited for this film? You should be more excited for this than Avengers Endgame. If you're not excited for No Way Home, are you even... You just wasted an emergence. get excited. Spider-Man. What are you doing? But guys, I'll see you next month in Spider-Man No Way Home.